Hey guys, my name is Nxtta, and today I just wanted to share my thoughts on the iPhone 14 Pro Max after about a month and a half of usage. Basically what I've discovered in the past month and a half, all my favorite features and stuff like that. Before this phone I used to have the Samsung Galaxy S20, so some of these features that I'm about to say might be a really old feature, but still new to me. I'm still learning about this phone. The last iPhone that I had was the XS Max, which was about 4 years ago, so a lot has changed. But without further ado, let's begin. So for the first one, this is not really a feature, this is more of my personal preference, and that's the shape of the phone. They introduced this with the iPhone 12, and it's the flat edges, the flat front, the flat back, and it's so nice. It feels super solid in your hand, and it just looks really clean. With this, I'm also going to throw in the colors. This phone is in deep purple, and it looks amazing. But I kind of wish they brought back the Alpine green that they had with the iPhone 13 Pro Maxes. That color was just so clean. But the deep purple definitely did justice for me. Okay, now for an actual feature of the phone, and that's the 2000 nits of brightness. This makes a huge difference when you're outside and the sun is just hitting your phone. The 2000 nits of brightness definitely makes a difference. I have no trouble reading anything on my phone, everything is just so clear and so clean. Here's a comparison between the 12 Pro Max and the 14 Pro Max. Next is the always on display. Some people said it's annoying, a lot of people actually on Twitter said it's annoying, but to me, it's not. Actually, I lied. The first couple of days it was a bit annoying. I was like, why isn't the phone turning off? Some people were saying it's too bright, some people were saying that it's just annoying, it should just go to a black screen like, the Androids do. But this is something different. People were also saying that it wastes battery, but personally I haven't noticed. I also turned off always on display for a couple of days and I haven't seen any difference. The screen actually goes into 1 Hz refresh rate, so it doesn't waste any battery, or at least waste less battery. But like other always on displays, it also gives you the time, the date, and all that stuff, but it also gives you a preview of your background, but just dimmer. And when on Do Not Disturb, it also blurs the background, which is pretty cool. Another feature that I really like, and this is more of just like an upgrade from the previous phones, is the 48 megapixel camera. This camera is crazy, and it's nothing like my Samsung S20. The phone takes amazing pictures and amazing qualities in all sorts of lighting, especially if you know how to use it, and the zoom is actually pretty good as well. Here's an example of 2 different pictures that was taken at the same spot. One was taken at 2x zoom, and one was just a regular photo. By the way, all these pictures are unedited and fully raw from the camera. And since we're talking about cameras, here's another feature about the front-facing camera, which they added autofocus to. This is not too much of a big deal because most people just use their front-facing camera for FaceTime or Snapchat or TikToks and stuff like that. But for someone who actually cares about cameras, it's pretty cool. And you can see that it focuses on the figure pretty nicely. Another thing I like about this phone is the lock screen. Now this is more of an iOS 16 feature, not just for the iPhone 14, but I just wanted to mention it. Obviously, you got your standard time, date, and your notifications, and 2 buttons that you can customize, which mine is still flashlight and camera. You can change the font of the time and the date. And when you have a picture that the AI can separate the figure from the background, you can actually put the figure in front of the time, which is actually something new and it's pretty cool. And also when you lock your phone and it goes into always on display mode, the figure actually goes behind the time, which is another little cool feature. The last feature that I'm going to talk about today is the dynamic island. This is pretty cool, it's new to the market and it's still being improved, and other applications still have to integrate their apps to it. But from what I've seen, you get your calls or your FaceTime calls up there, or when you play music, it shows the artwork and the little visualizer which actually goes to the beat of the song. And when you're playing music, you can actually long press the dynamic island and you have a little bit of controls there. Other things like timer will show up there when you're screen recording and a ton of other things. Also, when you're doing 2 things at once, both of them will show up there, and also you can swipe them away, which is another thing, it's also interactable. For example, I have a timer and I'm playing music. I click on the timer and it opens up the clock app. Or I'm playing music on Spotify and I click on the music and it opens up Spotify. There's still a ton of things that you can do with it, and a lot of other apps still have to integrate their apps with it, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Like for example, if you have a counter app, it can show up there. But that's going to be it for today. There's still a ton of features that I still have yet to discover about this phone, and I'll be sure to share them with you. I'm still getting used to the phone, I'm still learning new things every single day. These were just some of the ones that stood out to me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.